Hello and welcome to Teliax, and this video is going to be one of a series of videos going into the IV features in depth. We're going to take them in smaller chunks so you can just refer to the ones that you need or go back, watch them all, but we'll cover all of the features in depth over a series of different videos just to keep them nice and short for you. In today's video, we're going to talk about phones, devices, and voicemail. So if we look at the overall feature set of Ivy, it's broken down into phone numbers, extensions and devices, voicemail, fax to email, ring groups, schedules, voice menus, conference rooms, E911, and call forwarding. So we will cover all of these in detail as we go through this series. And again, today we're going to be talking about phones, devices, and voicemail. So once we've created our site and we have that ready to go, which again is covered in another video, we're going to go and look at extensions and devices and voicemail. Adding any of the objects within the system are done through the menu at the top of the page. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go in reverse order because that'll actually make it to configure the next successive thing. So I'm going to start with a voicemail box. So I'll go to a voicemail box and I will create a name for this person. In this case, we'll call it Dave Taylor. And password, right now, the password isn't really used, but in the near future, it'll be used for being able to dial in and record your audio greeting and to check voicemail messages. So I'm just going to give it a password for right now. And you can upload your own audio. So if you record a greeting, you use the upload new audio feature to upload that greeting. Now I generally use Audacity because it's free. I can record a message, I can edit it, I can maybe do some noise reduction in it, and it's a free package, so you can get Audacity for just about any machine that's out there. And then you can test play the message.
Nobody is available to take your call at the moment. Please leave a message at the beep.
So there's a built-in one, but you can always replace it. And then we need to send that voicemail file to someone when an email address comes in. So we'll just put in an email address, dave@company.com, and we'll select enter. So now that voicemail box is there. So next, we need to create an extension or a device. Either one, but let's go to a device because that's kind of the next in the chain. So the device is the actual phone, the hard phone, the desk phone, or the soft phone that's going to connect to the system. So we'll call this Dave Desk Phone. And the channel limit is going to be how many concurrent calls that device can take. Now sometimes that's just dependent on the hardware that you're using. There's phones that have 2 channels, 4 channels, 6 channels, 8 channels. And how many calls do you want that person to be able to be managing at one time? Sometimes the receptionist may need to manage more calls because she may have people on hold, on park, and trying to get a hold of people. A typical user may not need more than 2 or 3. So in this case, I'm just going to put in 2 channels for this one. Now we're going to create a login and password, and that's the credentials that the phone uses to connect. So in this case, I'm going to make these very simple. You should have stronger logins and passwords, but I'll just call this Dave's Desk Office, and I'll throw in a number there, 01, and a password, so we can make up a good password. And a couple numbers in there just to have something. Now we have other videos on how to configure phones themselves, so I'm not going to go into it in here, but you need the site name, the login, and the password to configure a phone. So here we're creating the login and password. Refer to the other videos on how to actually configure a phone. Now the timeout is how long that phone's going to ring before it goes to the failover destination. Now the default is 120, so that's 2 minutes of someone sitting there listening to it ring. Generally, we're going to cut that back. Now, every ring is about 4 seconds. So if we have 6 rings, which is pretty long, that's going to be about 24 seconds. So I'm going to use that as my number. And the failover, well, that's going to be Dave's voicemail. So if his phone doesn't answer, it'll go over to his voicemail. Now we can override the caller ID, and we can override the caller ID number. And the access control list will normally be the default for the site, or this could be the IP address for Dave's home if he works from home. So we got to make sure that we do have something in here. In this case, I'm going to use my public IP address with a /32, which says it's a single IP. But if you already have this as part of your site configuration, this will already be filled out for you. So we'll go ahead and select enter. Now, if we had a phone number, we could route that right to his phone. So let's go ahead and create a phone number, because that's kind of an important piece there. And this will be Dave's direct line. And in the search criteria, we can put in an area code, a city, a state. So I could put in like 714. Go to search to see if there's any phone numbers in that area. That's kind of a busy one. I'm just going to try a city like Denver. There's Denver, Colorado. We'll search on that, and we can find a phone number in here. Choose one that we really like, and kind of go from there. So I can select enter on that. Now I have to go back and edit that phone number, and I can put in the destination. So I can just put in Dave's desk phone. So now if somebody calls the phone number, the destination is his phone, which will then go to his phone. If that's not picked up in 24 seconds, it's going to go to his mailbox. So you can see how these things tie together. Now the next piece you can add to this is an extension. Now, extensions need to be either 2 or 4 or more numbers. They can't be 3. So we'll just call this Dave's extension. And we can give it a number, so I'm going to make him extension 2000, and that's going to go to his desk phone. So now, if somebody else in the office dials extension 2000, it's going to go to Dave's desk phone. And again, if it doesn't pick up, then that's going to fail over to Dave's voicemail box. So hopefully you can see how all these things start to come together in building the blocks of the system. We can also use that extension as a destination in other places, but we won't get into that quite yet. But for now, we want to see how we set up a device, an extension, attach a phone number to it, which could also be a menu or anything else that can route that call, and then have it fail over to a voicemail. So that's a real quick demo of the extensions and devices and voicemail within Ivy. So stay tuned. There's going to be plenty more videos, and watch the YouTube channel or follow us on Twitter or Facebook, or just go to our website at Teliax.com. You can go to the news section, which is our blog, and we have all kinds of updated information in there. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.